everyone, and today we're going to be doing a mathematical activity called forgetting the number. So, how does it work? Basically, it's a problem. A boy uses a calculator and divided two whole numbers to get an answer of 3.125. What were the numbers? He needs to recollect his memory. Plus, this challenge is the sequel of the chocolate challenge, so you know it's something hard. And here's the calculator, the big calculator that we're going to be using for this challenge to help us. So if we were to try writing out this problem in an algebraic formation, for example, we know that this kid used a calculator and divided two unknown numbers to get an answer of 3.125. So what we're going to be doing, we're actually going to put x and y. We're going to use two variables. Variables, we're going to have a lesson on them later. The variables, in a nutshell, is just letters replacing numbers, okay? And x and y are both numbers that we don't know their values. And x over y, and then you have to you divide them, and you get an answer of 3.125, okay? There's another thing I haven't mentioned. Both x and y, both these two numbers that we don't know, the numbers that the boy forgot when he typed in the calculator, these numbers, he asserted that x and y, these numbers are less than 50. Oh god, that was a very bad sign. These are less than 50. He's sure of that. So that's why if we try writing it in an algebraic formation, this is kind of a little algebraic formation. Okay? So now, what was the next step of working out that me and the other people did? Arranging this page so that it looks nicer. We're gonna put the algebra in the corner. Now that we have the algebra over here, we're gonna be using our brain to comprehend the next step. So now we can tell that with this algebra over here, it might seem useless, but actually, let's take the variable y. We know y over here is less than 50. It's guaranteed, okay? So we also know y multiplied by the answer over here, y multiplied by 3.125 is going to equal x, isn't it? Because we know there's like a little bit of a triangle family that if x divided by y equals 3.125, then surely y multiplied by 3.125 would equal x. So our next step, let's just try guess and check for now. We're going to try picking a random number that of course is less than 50 that will be suited for y. When me, Kaushik, and Army were solving this problem, I asked Army to pick a random number, and he picked y to be the value of 42. Of course, that's less than 50. Let's try this out. So if we go to another slide, we're going to have to solve this problem over here. 42 multiplied by 3.125. Because we know if we do that, we're going to get the value of x. But remember, if we go all the way back over here, right? If we go back here, it says a boy uses a calculator and divided two whole numbers, okay? So once we do 42 multiplied by 3.125, we're going to get the value of x. But the thing is, x needs to be a whole number. If it's a decimal, then the value of 42 for y is going to be incorrect. Even though this is a guess and check, we have a 50th chance. We have 1 over 50 of getting this correct, and that's a very low chance. But anyway, we're going to execute our plan. And how do you multiply a decimal, okay? This is easy. We're just going to put the decimal over here. We're going to put the 3 over here. And did you know that with 42 actually equals, if 42 equals 42, with the decimal point 000, there'll be infinite zeros that way, okay? So that's why we can actually just put a decimal here and put zeros for these numbers, so that'll be easier to multiply and execute this problem to find the product of 42 and 3.125. So, how are we going to solve this problem? We're first going to do 5 multiplied by 0, then this, 5 multiplied by 0 3 times, and then we go over here. So we could do this method, but I'll tell you, it's actually going to be a bit longer than the method if we got rid of these 3 zeros on the decimal point. This multiplication problem, now that it's been set up, looks a bit more confusing than our past one, okay? But still, this is going to be much more faster because why? Now 5 doesn't have to multiply by 0 3 times and then multiply by 2. It's going to be the answer anyway. So what we're going to do, we're going to do 5 multiplied by 2, which is 10. So we're going to put a 0 here, and we're going to carry a 1 to 4. Now 5 multiplied by 4 is 20, plus 1, 210. Now we put a 0 here, and we're going to go to the 1 over here, okay? Now we do 1 multiplied by 2, which is 2. 1 multiplied by 4, we're not going to add the 1 this time, is 4, okay? Now we have, okay, let's write it all over here, 210, 420. These are our numbers. This is a 0, not a 6. Now we're going to put 2 zeros over here, okay? And now we're going to do 3 multiplied by 2, which is 6, and 3 multiplied by 4, which is 12, okay? Now we're going to add these values up. Put a 0 down here, put a 3 over here. 6 plus 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 2 is 12. You're going to put a 2 here, carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, and you put down the 1 over here. Now we have the answer 13,230. But hang on, is that the answer? No, how could that be the answer? Because the last step of multiplying decimals is always, once you have this answer, you're going to need to find the decimal point. And here's the thing. We move the decimal point 3 spots over here, okay? It's 3 spots. So we're going to have, even, remember how I said that 42 is the same as 42.0000 infinite? That's why we can have this. We can have a decimal point and we can have infinite zeros after that number. So that's why we're going to move this decimal point over here 3 spots to the left. In other words, we're going to divide by 100. 1, 2, 3. And now, we don't even have to find the answer, but we'll do it anyway. And that's the answer we have over here, 131 decimal point 23. But hold up. Is that a whole number or a decimal point? Is it a whole number or is it a decimal? Of course, it's a decimal because we have the decimal point over here. So that's why we're going to ditch that plan. And we know when we tested out y to equal 42, that is incorrect. So we can't say that plan worked out. So we definitely know y isn't 42. Then us boys started to discuss that we can't keep doing this and keep guessing and checking for the value of y. We actually need to think hard and we need to find another strategy. And another strategy is, how are we going to make 3.125 into a whole number? We need to find a number to multiply with 3.125 that will turn it into a whole number, right? That's what we've been trying to do. Remember how we found this over here? We know the value y is less than 50 needs to be multiplied by 3.125 to get a whole number, which is x, right? That's the equation we have over here, okay? So this is all the algebra we're doing so far. And now we need to think of another number. How about we try 8, okay? I know that's guess and check, but is it really? We're trying to find a number that has some properties that will actually work to multiply with 3.125 that will make it a whole number. And we know that 8 is a pretty small number. So that's how, if we multiply it with 3.125, we have a more likely chance to get it to a whole number. So let's try it out. So that's why we're going to be trying y equals 8. So let's go over to this side, and now we're going to be doing the multiplication. Oh, yes, I've set it up wrong actually. As last lesson we learned that we need to be much more careful. We're actually going to have to put the 8 over here, and we're going to put the 0, 0, 0 over there. And yeah, that's actually how we're going to do it. I'll be back. Congratulations, the answer is 25, and that is a whole positive number, okay? So that's why we know that y equals 8. That's actually a true function. So we've already figured out one variable. What's the other variable? Hang on, if we check out this equation once again, if we know y equals 8, let's just use this. Let's get rid of y and we'll replace it with 8. Let's check it out, just in case. Is 8 smaller than 50? Obviously it is. And now we check out that 8 multiplied by 3.125 is going to equal x, a whole number. So we know that just because of 8, y equal 8, that means that x equals, what was the answer? 25, right? If we go over to this slide, remember 25? So that's why we found both values, and the boy forgot the values of the numbers he used to divide to get the answer of 3.125. Now he remembers it's 25 and 8. Just to double check if we got it right, we're actually going to do 25 divided by 8 to find what the answer is. So as I said, it needs to be proof. We're going to go over to the calculator over here. Now we're going to type in 25 divided by 8 over here. Let it take its time. There we go. Now let's hit this equal sign. There we go. What does it say? It says 3.125. That is amazing. We have actually figured out this problem, and it was pretty difficult. We had to do a fair bit of algebra, but there it is. We have the calculator over here, and we've solved the Forgot the Number challenge. See you later, people. Enjoy!